Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Heavy Metal Tones with me, your podcast host Tony Evans. This week's episode is about one of my favourite bands of the last decade. I came across them by accident. In fact, no I didn't. Matt, my good friend Matt, got me onto them. They're an all-female Brazilian black metal band called Crypta. They are fascinating, powerful, engaging, intelligent and aggressive. Now, you may way back in the beginning of this show, I did an episode on females in metal. I may have mentioned Crypta back then. You might have to rewind and go back and have a listen, but only in passing. I have a real love for all female metal bands and rock bands in general, really. I find their passion and power, and there's no posturing. There's no machismo. There's no, it's not less fireworks. More bang than sparkle. You know what I mean by that. Anyway, they're a black metal band. Now I do tend to do a lot of this sort of extreme metal stuff on the channel. It fascinates me. It's not. I don't. If you listen and go, oh, not another one. They did Venom last week or whatever, the week before. It's because at the moment that's what a lot of the stuff that's out and about in the marketplace, and it's also what's fascinating me at the moment. Now a lot of people have approached me. I've had conversations, deep, meaningful conversations with people about theology and Christianity and Satanism and all this sort of stuff. And I'd like to sort of put it out there that if you are deeply religious and deeply Christian, you can still, or Jewish or Muslim or whatever your denomination is, you can still find the fascination and interest in the blacker side of metal, because think about it. People say, oh, but I can't believe in the devil, but then you go to church, or you think you're Christian or whatever. You've got to remember that every coin has two sides, and it's like the deeply satanic people, and I know people who are really quite mired in their beliefs, in satanic belief, and that's fine. Again, it's only a religion. It's not. And they're not sacrificing babies at dawn and eating people and sacrificing goats and all that sort of stuff. No, they're not. There's a really great not 9 o'clock news sketch where Mel Smith is being interviewed and they're Satanists, and he says there's a little bit of less get behind me, Satan, and more come in, mate, and have a cup of tea and let's talk about God. So look at that. What professionalism. I dropped my pencil. Well, that's me. Well, I've got another one. There you go. Won't find out for a week now. Anyway, where was I? Train of thought. Yes. So really, really dark, black, heavy music, satanic or aggressive black metal music that has satanic themes. Most of those people that are playing that music, let's be honest, most of them, 80% of them, are doing it for theatrical reasons. And genuinely, if you say, "Oh, I don't believe in God, but I believe in Satan," what are you talking about? Because with belief, to believe in something, you have to not believe in other things. You know what I mean? Like, it's to not believe, you must believe. So you have to be a disbeliever. You have to believe before to disbelieve. So therefore, you have had belief. This is getting very deep and meaningful for a music podcast, but you know where I'm coming from. What I mean is, two sides of every coin. Not everyone is. Not all this music is monstrous music, and this is where I'm coming from. This comes to a point. People do trust me. It does come somewhere. It leads somewhere with this album, with this band. I'm leading somewhere. Where I'm leading is to say that you can put on some really, really heavy black metal albums, and that all they do is attack Christianity and organised religions, which is hilarious because Satanism is technically an organised religion. Let me get my tea. This is really deep and meaningful. I've got 2 tea bags. I'm a double bagging today, so when it gets heavy, I double bag. That's an innuendo. You could probably take it anywhere you want. Anyway, so this band. So what fascinates me about this album and this band is that reason. For that reason alone, is A, they're musically very, very gifted. B, they're harder than any band I've ever heard of. Honestly, that's got a set of balls between their legs. To be honest, they've got no. It seems to me like they have no ego when it comes to their ability and what they know they can do. So they're a Brazilian band, so from South America. They were formed in. They're from the ashes of another band called Nervosa, which was a Brazilian thrash metal band. So Fernanda Lira on bass and vocals and Luna D'Amato on drums both left Nervosa and then formed Crypta, adding ex-Hagbard guitarist Tanya Bergmashi. I'm sorry if I've brutalized your name. I didn't mean to do it. Is it wrong? And Sonia Anubis, who was from Burning Witches, which is another brilliant band, and Cobra Spell, which is a great band. She's an amazing guitarist, unbelievable. She subsequently left now and has been taken over by Jessica De Falci, but we'll talk about the original lineup first because Jessica hasn't recorded anything with the band yet. That's coming out next year, according to the band, which I'm very, very excited about. They're on Napalm Records. They have several singles from the album. The album itself, they started to record. They announced that on the 20th of May that they'd formed the band in 2020, and then in 2021 the album was released. Okay, early 2021, and it blew my mind. Actually, really blew my mind. Crazy album. So they said they've had 4 singles. 3 have been released physically, and one was not. So 3 on the album, 1 not. So you have From the Ashes, Starvation, Dark Night of the Soul, and then a single that got released, a standalone single called I Resign, which I got a copy of, which is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased I've got that. So this band. That's all you really need to know when it comes to the band itself. I honestly, go and check out them. There's not a lot on the internet, on the interwebs, as my dear dad would say, around what's information around the band. So it's quite a mysterious band, really, but powerful. Fernanda is this leather-clad, black curly-haired bass player, vocalist with an amazing voice. I mean, extreme metal is difficult on the vocals at the best of times, and how she managed to keep that in that register without being too high is crazy. Luna is a brilliant drummer. I mean, isolate the drummer and the bass parts from this, and you'd think these these 2 lovely ladies have been playing for 30 years. It's just tight. Of course, and then you've got Tanya on rhythm guitar, and she just, they swap solos. Sorry, Sonia and Tanya, but Tanya's really the rhythm guitarist of the band, and she hunkers down that it's very traditional. In some respects, of the extreme metal genre, it's very traditional trem picking and atonal discordant scales and sort of icy beats and soul grabbing coldness. But it's also and this is why I'm going to get on to the review of the album. You'll understand why I mentioned about the religious aspect of it when we get to the actual album, but the music itself. And then you've got Sonia, who is, not only are they all beautiful, and they're all beautiful, but that's got nothing to do with it. But that side, Sonia is this beautiful woman that just plays like. Honestly, I listen to her play, and I know people are going to say to me, "Oh, you're just being theatrical," but she reminds me of Randy Rhoads. When I listen to her play like that, she really does have that neoclassical speed to her, and a lot of sweep picking, a lot of that. There's not lots of squealies and stuff. It's all sweep picking, down picking, speed soloing, and it's all beautifully like. Unlike a lot of this sort of extreme stuff that becomes sludgy, it's all very clean and precise and just easy on the ear, right? It has a huge orchestral sound for a small, for a 4-piece band. It has a huge orchestral sound, and it recorded it. They recorded it. Now, what did I do? So I wrote this down. 1 second. When they record it. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah. So they recorded it in the same studio. That was a bit of entertainment, wasn't it? The same studio that Sepultura recorded in. And all those big thrash bands and black metal bands and extreme metal bands of the in South America seem to play in, or Brazil seem to record in Mob Studios. It is. That was what I was trying to find. And it shows actually. For what I would call an independent record, even though they're on a good label. I mean, Napalm Records is a really, really good label, and I'd say that for a small independent band, let's be honest, they're not going to ship hundreds of millions of copies. I'm just taking my record out, but they are going to make a product that has that ability to do so. The album is beautiful. It's the cover is it's a picture of a coffin full of like sort of demons, and then on the outside eyes and mouths, and then the outside looks like stone crypt with candles, again demons all sort of worshipping at this tomb, this grave, and the inside it's got a picture of all the girls all sort of looking menacingly in their leather and spikes and chains, and just look like they could take you on in a fight. And on the back, of course, you've got pictures of the guys again with their names. It absolutely beautiful. Of course, I got the red vinyl one, and I also got one that comes with this lyric sheet, which is handy for today because I'm going to go through the lyrics with you later on when we get to the other side of the program. But I really, really feel that. I hit the mic. Sorry. I really feel that we as a musical community often overlook the ability of women to make really great heavy metal. I've said it before in the last episode. Another episode, I said there is this tendency to have this image that it's all men in tight pants and stuffed socks down their tight jeans and posturing and sort of dangerous sexual energy that it sort of exudes, and a boys' club thing, and it's all because it's heavy and it must be masculine, and that's not necessarily the case. In fact, some of the scariest people I've ever met in my life have been women, and that's the God's truth, right? And also, if you dial it down to the real basic nitty gritties, at the physical level, women are they really are they really do run the world, because they're the Gaia soldiers, aren't they? They create life And I think a lot of the time we as men think that it's we're the movers and shakers on the planet, but actually it's the women behind us. It's truly the women behind us. And I feel that. And I'm sorry going into my feminist rant, but it's generally how I feel. I think maybe because I always thought that even before my daughters arrived on the scene. I've generally thought that anyway. I think because I come from such a masculine family. Anyway. Oh, that's a good tea there. Hope your tea's as good as mine, because that's fantastic. So the singles off of it were an interesting choice. From the Ashes, Starvation. I got the T-shirt connected to. I've got the From the Ashes T-shirt and I got the Starvation T-shirt. I think Dark Night of the Soul is my favourite song on the album, which is why I think it's a good single. We'll get to them on the other side when we review them, but I don't know if I would have gone From the Ashes or Starvation for singles, but again, I don't think singles make much difference these days anyway, do they? I mean, most of the time it's just something uploaded to YouTube that you might use to gain some interest. It's not you're not going to sell them. You're certainly not going to make lots of physical copies and get a number one by having 100,000 singles sold, because no one cares about singles anymore, do they? I mean, it's a dead art. I mean, I've talked again, another episode I talked about that before, that it's a shame that it's disappeared, because the art of the single is really interesting. For the collector, and I don't know, since vinyl has resurged itself and CD is dying off, and records are back, do you think maybe that we might start getting top 10s and singles again, single sales? I don't know. I don't think that we will, because we have dedicated streaming media. I don't even know if there's singles charts for the streaming. If there is, let me know. I don't know. Old man's meandering. I don't bother care. I don't look, to be honest, because if it's not there, why would I bother looking? But anyway, that was another sidetrack. So the singles. I deliberately did not listen to Dark Night of the Soul, and to be honest, I only really vaguely listened to From the Ashes until the album came out, because I didn't want to. I don't want to be biased. I also wanted to get that, experience when I put the album on for the first time. That's why I like this when they released "I Resign" as a separate single, because it's not on the album, so I could enjoy a song by the band, which I used to love that when bands did that. The Pistols did it. Marillion used to do it. You'd get a single and it would be not on the album, so you could enjoy that single and really consume it. And then when the album came out, because it wasn't on there, you got a whole new, you didn't go straight to the single because that's the only one you liked on it. And I've done that before. I bought singles off albums, put the album on, hated the album, listened only to the singles. It's not something that I'm particularly proud of, but it's something we used to do a lot. Oh, I know my friends and I did anyway. That's enough rambling about me about that. I'm gonna sort of wrap up in a minute, for us to go get a fresh cup of tea and then head off to the other side to go and talk about the albums, the songs, and the meanings. If you haven't already heard the album, stop it there. Why don't you? Stop the show at when they get to the adverts. Don't stop now, because that'd be useless. Why would you stop now? So I shouldn't have said that. Stop it when we get to the ads. Bang. And listen to the album. Give it a quick spin through. You can get it on all streaming platforms. It's on everything, even on YouTube. There's a great live. In fact, if you want, you can go to my Facebook page, Heavy Metal Tones, and I have put a live video on of them from Varkan, I think it is. No, it's somewhere in Poland. Anyway, you can watch that. Watch it if you want, or listen to it, and then come back, and then you might get more out of the second part. when I sort of talk about the songs and what I feel about them. And anyway, that's enough rambling from me. I'm going to pause it now, put some ads on, go and heat my double bagger up again. I might actually, you know what I do? I might go listen through it one more time again myself. Well, I went very falsetto then. Myself. I might go and listen to it myself, and then I'll see if I come up with any more opinions. I did have it listen to it on a walk this morning, on the lovely sunshine here in Australia. After we had rain for the last month, so it's nice to get some sun. And it really didn't change my mind. I think I feel now how I felt before. So we'll see when we get to the side if I have any other ideas. Okay, talk to you soon, guys. Enjoy the album. Bye now.
Rebag, your premier destination for luxury resale. Elevate your style with our curated collection of bags, watches, and fine jewelry. At Rebag, quality is our priority. Each piece meticulously vetted and verified by experts, ensuring your investment is nothing short of perfection. Buy and sell finds from the world's top brands, including Hermes, Chanel, and Cartier. Access expertly crafted and hard-to-find pieces that redefine luxury. Your next investment awaits at Rebag. Get 10% off your first purchase with code REBAG10. That's 10% off the luxury you deserve. Don't miss out. Head to Rebag.com and enter code REBAG10 at checkout. That's REBAG10.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed those ads. Oh, knock my mic. See, go downstairs, a cup of tea, knock the mic. My ramblings at the beginning of the show about religion and so on and so forth come quite into sharp relief here, because the album Echoes of the Soul comes from, as I said, from a black metal band from Brazil, all female, from different sort of musical backgrounds, all in the same kind of genre. It's sung with typical aggressive extreme metal vocals, so it's not the kind of, unless you are, it's not impenetrable. There's a beautiful lilt and melody to Fernanda's voice. So it's not so impenetrable, but so when we get, as I was saying, so we're getting back to this this 4-piece band. Now, it's very easy to go and write an extreme black metal band album, with satanic themes, and play the theatrical part, the hammer horror bit, as I would call it. It's easy to do that, isn't it? The spikes on. Slayer were the best at it. That kind of fakeness. But what these ladies have done is written an album that is moving, intelligent, theatrical, demanding, aggressive, fast, heavy, and beautiful. And I really genuinely mean that, guys. I rambled on at the beginning because it's very, sometimes I have in my head what I want to say. It doesn't always come out. I write it down and it just doesn't sound correct. Anyway, so the tracks on this album. On side 1, Okay, opens with Awakening. Now, Awakening is just a nice minute of atmospheric noodlings. Okay, it's just, you know, bells and wind and it sounds of crypts and so on. I would say that it's basically the opening of the band's soul, basically awakening of their soul, if you want to be really deep and meaningful about it. And we move from there. Look, give 1 second. 1 moment. Bang, crash, what a picture. I have to go and do it. I have to go and get my glasses. Sorry guys, 1 moment. There you go. Sorry about that. Seamless moving. I went downstairs, got my glasses, came back. Oh, not my tea, dropped my pencil. All the fun of the fair. Anyway, so we move into Starvation as the opening song of the album. Yes, I just had a massive boo-boo then and knocked everything on the floor. If you can hear the edit, I'll be pretty sure it took me forever to bloody edit that out. I was going to leave it in, but it was a real Tony moment, that one. I dropped my digital interface on the floor, dropped my cup on the floor, knocked the table. It was ridiculous. I have no idea what happened there. It was a real comic capers moment. Anyway, so first track on the album is Starvation. Now, as I said to you before, that this could be a positive kind of album. This isn't a positive kind of song. This is actually quite, I think, the darkest of all the songs on the album, purely because it does open up some real dark imagery, and it is very apt because it is a female band, and there is I'm not saying this is about dysmorphia or body image issues, but I can't say for certain that it's not. It's stark. It has this cold Nordic feel, the trem picking. It's got some outrageous drum fills across it in through the middle eight. The lyric is, I'll just give you a snapshot. Weak, nauseated and dazed, apathetic, depressed, deaf on its way. Muscles become, that says, cadaveric remains, disillusional, almost unconscious brain. It's not breaking up. I mean, it is. I mean, the chorus is, and it says, no escape now. I should thrive, not die from starvation. Humanity's worst scourge, starvation. Now, it may not be that. It also could be a stab at our, the ability for the West and for powerful nations to eat opulently, and then others to live off, less than a bowl of rice a day. It could be that, if I want to think it that way. As I said, I think this one could be taken both ways. It really could. It's I don't want to dwell on it. Actually, I don't really like. I love this album from beginning to end, but this one, for some reason, this song does give me the heebie-jeebies slightly. To be honest with you. And then we can move on to. That's why I think. That's why I think Side Note's a strange single choice. But hey, I mean, if they're making a political statement, then albeit. And then we moved into Possessed. Okay, so actually, I'm going to name the song so you get an idea. You've got Possessed, Death Arcane, Shadow Within on the A side, Under the Black Wings, Kali, Bloodstained Heritage, Dark Time of the Soul, and From the Ashes. Okay, so the next section is a song called Possessed. Again, this is probably the most stereotypical song on the album when it comes to the dark imagery, because it's quite easy to write songs. It's not easy to write songs like Starvation. That's quite an interesting and brave single song. I think for things like Possessed, it's a little bit, here's a colouring book of satanic imagery, please colour in here, join the dots. It's a bit like that. Musically, it's brilliant. Again, the musical theme from A to B, from A to Z in this album is very similar. All the songs have a same thematic musical theme through them, running through them. So it's not like I put on one song and it sounds vastly different to the song at the end of the album. It all seems to, it blends in a beautiful way, not in a I've only got one idea way, but in a beautiful way. So it's that kind of almost ancient biblical sort of atonal starkness to it. I'll give you the lyric on this one here. Again, a lot of these songs are actually quite sing-along. You wouldn't think they would be, with kind of with the sort of subject matter of them. Hallucinations on my mind, fire in my eyes. Uncharted influence, subjugation strikes, shortly losing my sense of control as the obsessor it still takes over my soul. Now, again, it says here, distorted speech, blasphemous rage, I curse at their holy symbols, I laugh at their as they pray. So it's a little bit satanic by numbers, but all genres of music and all forms of art that we listen to, watch, read, and enjoy will have litmus markers, litmus test markers, and everyone has the right to enjoy those. And I think chucking them into an album like this just may be a way of giving the band themselves some legitimacy around the more masculine metal community, because I'm going to write a song called Possessed. Now, it might not be. It might be something that they genuinely, truly want us to talk about. I mean, if we go down another rabbit hole somewhere on a different shoot here, possession is another interesting thing, is it not? Because that is subjective, isn't it? To think one. I mean, I don't believe in the devil or demons, but I do believe in negative spirits and negative energy and violence leads and so if someone is soul, if you really believe in souls as well, it could go down that route, another conversation there. But your spirit, which I do believe in, so your spirit is either it can be affected. I think all energy is effective, isn't it? You can affect all energy. Energies get stronger, they get weaker, they're constant, and you can affect them. And I think this is what they're probably talking about. It's just the effects of negative energy. Anyway, moving on to that, we're going to Death Arcane. All right, Death Arcana. This is really, really interesting song. Okay, if I want to be brutally honest, probably the best song on the A side, by a long way. Now, I read this one again, musically brilliant. Again, same as I said, stylistically same kind of music. Really, really fantastic, sweet picking solo guitars in this. Sonia really picks up the game on Death Arcana. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I read into it. I'm going to read you the lyrics, and I'm going to tell you what I read into it, okay? So here you go. I'm going to pick my thing up. Now, it is actually the 13th trump card of the major arcana in the traditional deck of tarot cards. It's the Death card, okay? This is a really... I'm going to read the lyric, and I'll tell you. Okay, so here we go. The messenger of death marches on steadily across the field, 13 cycles of the moon, now the omen is bare. Death will surely come, death will spare no one. Bearing a scythe that reaps the end, its macabre armour heralds change. So, if you didn't know that this song was about the tarot card of death, you would think it was just about, death itself, old Father Time or the Scythe, coming to take you at the end of your time. Through destruction you will purge as you transcend your inner cage. Shed old skin like a serpent, resistance will only bring pain. Heralds old beliefs, inner metamorphosis. See, again, this is really... Oh God, it's so introspective. This is the thing. I really think the girls here, women, here really are looking deep inside themselves, and they're using the medium of black metal and extreme metal and darker side to sort of bear their lives. I think this is more about change and things come, you could probably link it to the fact that they've just changed bands. They've gone from Nervosa to become this new band, death of one past, birth of new future, and I feel that this is what I'm getting from this one. Again, very stark, very cold, very aggressive, brilliant bass part on it, and Fernanda's vocals are something special on this album, and they just get better and better each track in. So again, I think this is probably one of my favourite songs on the first side because of the depth. If you want to read into it, that's what I read into it. If you want to just listen to it for music's sake, be my guest. But I mean, I don't think you come to listen to my show if you just want me to tell you it's heavy, man. All right, there's a bit more to it, I think, to be fair. And then we get into, and this is why I think when I was mentioning the first side of the program, the first part of the program about the stereotypes of Satanism and Christianity and the sort of the more intricate, how this is a very clever and very thought out album on this part, very much like Venom Inc.'s previous album I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, There's Only Black. It's a very similar thing. These are very educated, adult, thought out and methodical pieces of work. They're not just brutalization for brutalization's purpose. There is a lot of that. There's a lot of you want to just put music on to smash your brain out with, or there's that music there. This, I think, takes you on a much more intricate journey. And then we end side A with Shadow Within. Do we end side A with Shadow Within? Let me hit the record. Yes, we do. We end side A with Shadow Within. Now, this one here, again, I'm not saying that the girls / ladies are all, dark-souled people and have a heavy, hard life. I mean, we don't know. We never lived their lives. I mean, it's tough growing up in South America. There's a lot of people there. It's a massively heavy, massive music scene. But this one's called Shadow Within. And again, I take this as it being about introspection, okay? Here's some of the lyrics. Beneath the social masks we wear, there's a veiled shadow inside. The wounds we try to ignore, weakness hidden and denied. Dark side of nature buried within, a raging beast lies underneath. Face your demons, inner demons, chaos, grief, anger and fear. Embrace the shadow within, embrace the shadow within. So again, I think this is, again, retrospective, isn't it? The cover screams, hey, satanic imagery. It screams the darker side of life. What it doesn't tell you when you put the record on and you listen to it and you go deeper into it, that you've got 4 women, and I'm not sure who writes all the lyrics. I don't actually know. If it's Fernanda, she's really bearing her soul here, I think, on this record, and I think it comes across that way, and that's why it truly feels like a monumental piece of black metal music or extreme metal, or any, you know what? No, scrap that. Rewind. Rewind that. I think this is a monumental album of any genre. For me, it doesn't matter that it's in this particular field. It could be pop music, it could be prog, it could be blues, it could be jazz. I don't care. This is a really thoroughly thought out and soul-searching album. So she's bared her soul here, okay? So change of, we've got a couple of ones at the beginning, like Starvation and Possessed, which could be on sort of any album. And then you get, not any album, that's not true. It could just be there, but you get Darth Arcana and then Shadow Within. And then we move very quickly into the B-side. We flick the album over. We get some more tea. Hang on. And we start the B-side with Under the Black Wings. Now, I know this is the B-side on this album is much stronger than the A-side, which doesn't always happen. This one is again very much like Possessed. Okay, it's sort of satanic imagery, paint by numbers kind of thing, but it does paint a really beautiful story, and it could be biographical again. Okay, listen. The sky turns red, the city is covered in darkness. Cavernous trumpets harbinger the doomsday is here. Again, is this COVID related? I mean, it was written around the same time. You don't know, do you? Dark wind beasts, demonic creatures, skeletal abnormations creeping in from above. This is actually really heavy. The drumming on this, in between the choruses, which is eternal punishment under the black wings, hopelessness under the black wings. It's really so what it's basically saying is that we're enveloped by a doom, a darkness. The army of darkness is coming, basically. I shiver in fear, tormented by all the screams. I look through the window, they're coming for me. Again, this could be retrospective. It could be something that she's feeling, a shadow within, or they're feeling, I should say. So they're using medium, like a lot of painters, like painters like Edvard Munch. When he painted the Scream, he was telling the world. I mean, he had mental disorders. I mean, he's saying, "Hey, what's happening with me?" The same way that Van Gogh, when he painted his paintings, because of his mental condition as well. So they're using a medium they can clearly are extremely good at to vent their souls. I mean, that's why I do this. Honestly, a lot of the time I do this show because it makes me think about my life a bit, and it's been a complicated, heavy, dark life sometimes, and it's nice that I can sort of laugh about it or share it with you guys. And I think this is what she's doing here with this, and then we come into Carly. Carly is brilliant. I think this is, I've said they're all brilliant, haven't I? What am I saying, really? The only weak one on it for me is probably Starvation. Carly is brilliant, okay? Now, if you don't know who Carly is, now let me get my notes. I wrote this down because I had to make sure I got it right and didn't offend any of my listeners who may be Hindu. 1 second. Okay, Kali is the Hindu goddess of Mother Nature, Mother Goddess, war, anger, time, change, creation, destruction, and power. And I wrote, she's a busy woman. Okay, so again, this is a female band. This is I'm going to read the lyric to you. This, even though Kali is the goddess of destruction and power, she's not evil. I think Hindus will tell you she's not evil at all. They don't. It's more of a like a, you don't call a strong wind, a destructive wind, evil, or rain that floods valleys and floods fields. It's not evil. It's just it's natural power. It's power for power's sake. And if you listen to this one here, bloodstained skulls and serpents, fierce, fearless, and unnamed. She who is deaf, duality and destruction, implacable demise of self dysfunctions. Kali, shatter all wickedness shatter all wickedness in me, make my ego tremble in fear, shatter illusion and lies, make my soul genuinely free. That I find that honestly, that little passage, "Make my soul genuinely free," I find that so uplifting, and in an aggressive way, because what she's saying, or what they're saying, is that through power and anger and rage and just not, well, anger and rage is wrong, through power and force, I'm gonna make my soul clean. Destroy my ego, it says. Purify, liberator of my soul. Purify. Now, I don't know if they're Hindu by nature. They might be by choice, but it's an absolutely Mahakali Kali Ma. It's a beautiful. When I think of that, I always think of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Anyway, shatter my limiting beliefs, make me face my deepest fears, shatter the veil of unreality, make my soul genuinely free. Brilliant. And again, also, music's great. It's very sing-along. You wouldn't think it would be sing-along when she says Kali. It really is. Again, I think this is retrospective. I keep using that word, but I think it's very much so. But we break to the next song, and this one is the one that made me think the most. I really thought about this song on the way home on my walk. I've listened to this song hundreds of times. I never really decided until I was going to do the show that I would actually make an effort to think about what it meant. I just thought it was just a great piece of time and space. But this is really amazing. So this is called Bloodstained Heritage. Says what it does on the box, right? Says what it does on the tin. What she's talking about is the subjugation of native peoples by a more advanced and physically able, is the wrong word, more advanced nations. Okay, so what I'm thinking of when she wrote this, what she's probably thinking of is the Portuguese landing in Brazil in 1500, and it not becoming a nation unto itself until 1812. Now, I don't know too deeply about the Portuguese and what they did when they were in Brazil, but I'm sure, like Australia, the English in Australia with the native Aborigines, like the pioneers in America with the First Nation Americans, with the First Nation Canadians, with the Maori, with Inuit, you name it, with the English in India. Good, where there are links on it. Could be, again, a link with Kali there. First, with India, okay? What she writes, they write here is, bodies historically demoralized, bloodshed from slavery and subjugation, through many years of violence from the beginning of invasions, bloodstained heritage. It's, man, honestly, if anything's going to make you think about, and I live in a country, in Australia now, I live in a country that was discovered and is, and sadly, we have, as a nation and as a people, mistreated its First Nation peoples, its Aborigines. They're the oldest culture on earth, and we've mistreated them. And it's the same. Look, honestly, it's not only a colonial thing. The Romans did it. The Spanish have done it to the Incas and the Mayans. We've done it in India. Luckily, in India, the civilization was advanced enough that we didn't destroy it completely. Again, that's another. I don't want to get into that political part, but this is what made me. But this is the thing is, okay. This is what it makes me think about this. This makes me think this way. And Bloodstained Heritage is smack bang in the middle of the B-side, and it really, because you get 5 songs on the B-side and 4 on the front, because Awakening is not really a song, and it's right in the middle, and it really made me. Truly, I was walking home. I just brought my lovely wife to the bus because we do that on a Monday because I don't work Mondays, and I was just popped in the shops to get stuff for dinner. I was walking home in lovely sunshine. And I had the album on, and I had to stop, and because it suddenly came to me exactly what it's about. I just literally didn't think about it at the time. I just put it on and had my moment with it. But really quite amazing. And then this is the best song of the album. This for me is when I go, if I had to find a song and I would repeat play, it's one of the singles, which is Dark Night of the Soul. Now the reason I like this one is it's sing along, and I love the way that Fernanda growls out the chorus, and and I also like the way that it's trem-picked, and it's stark, and it's cold, and it's dark, and it envelops me in a way that makes me feel a bit sort of we've all had those dark times of the soul, right? The dark night of the soul, we've all had it. Like Douglas Adams calls it the dark tea time of the soul. We've all had those moments, and here's her lyric for this, or their lyric for this, some of it anyway. Disenchanted and hopeless, painful feeling of emptiness, alone in the meaningless of universe, old confronting beliefs of collapse, soul screaming out, obscuration of myself, rude awakening, deep perception of my true self, dark night of the soul, surrender to me, your dark night of the soul, freedom emerged through purging. It is that time again. I look across the tracks here, and apart from say Starvation and Possessed and possibly even Under the Black Wings, although you could read that whatever way you into those, they all seem to be pointing to someone saying, hey, I'm hurting. Maybe I don't know if she is. I mean, she seems in interviews and in the music extremely level, but you never know, do you? It does feel like they're reaching out, and don't get me wrong, it's not a depressing album at all. It's not a gothy album where you're gonna dirgy stare at your shoes and open a vein kind of music. No. This is definitely uplifting, because the music itself is so aggressive and so well made that it is so uplifting, but it's deep within the message. In the music there is a message that is hidden within normal tropes of the genre, and I think what they've done in this, and I really hope they can match on the second note, it's going to be a big call, right? And you can see why not a Dark Time and Dark Night of the Soul was a single. You can see it, and Starvation, to be honest. And then From the Ashes, the final track. All right, and I think, okay, come with me, guys. Come on a journey. Come on this journey with me. I don't know why I did it with an Indian accent. I know why I did it. I went to a whiskey tasting once. Sorry, anyone who's Indian out there. I'm not being. It's just my terrible Indian accent. I went to a whiskey night. I go every year, and there was a table with all these Indian whiskies on, and the lovely lady could. And excuse me, pardon me, my Indian listeners. She said, "Come on a journey with whiskey and with me," and I was like, and I just thought of it then. Sorry. So come on this journey with me, guys. This is the end, From the Ashes, and it's the story of the Phoenix. All right. Now we all know. Do we all know the story of the Phoenix? Well, if you don't, you better find out. So the Phoenix is an immortal bird associated with Greek mythology. It's associated with the sun and obtains new life by rising from ashes. So you would chuck the phoenix egg into the flames and it would burn forth and a phoenix would arise. So basically, from death comes rebirth. And I think, and it gets born again. And I think really that's exactly what this is, this song and this album is. They've started, they've left one band they were very connected to, they've started a new one, they've gone through some, ups and downs, fighting against the masculine music industry, and I'm sure prejudice, you know what I mean, prejudices. You've got your songs about the way we're treating the world with Starvation. We've got Possession, so being taken over by by unseen forces. We got Def Arcan, which is, again, about destiny, flipping a card, destiny in your hand. Do you believe the destiny? Is it really death? Then Shadows Within, which is, introspective, looking at your soul. Under the Black Wings, again, is about possession, about dark side taking over. Is it about COVID? Do I really want to put that timestamp on it? Not really. It could just be a good song about the devil and his unseen forces. Then Kali is wonderful. Again, it's about finding oneself and clearing one's soul through anger, through violence, through rage and power, and Mother Earth and Gaia. Then, of course, we've got Bloodstained Heritage, where we have, we're talking about subjugation of first world peoples and tribes and beliefs, and it goes. I mean, again, thinking right back there, you think about the way the Romans stamped out the Celtic beliefs, and turned a nature worshipping island into the worshipping of a single god, in fact, into Christianity around that time. And then you've got Dark Night of the Soul, which is an introspective, isn't it? It's like looking back on yourself. Everyone's been in that moment where it's dark and cold and you don't know where you are and how you're going to make it forward, and you look deep into yourself. And then we get to the end. From the Ashes, a Phoenix, Rebirth. So they've started, finished an old band, started a new one, Rebirth. The lyric is here: the time has come to depart, and from the scene remove her heart. With a cycle closure that's near, comes self-sacrifice, freed from fear. From the dust reborn, from the dust glorious and ascend, from the dust a rebirth, from the dust fuel to emerge again. Burst into the flames now, rise, 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 rise from the ashes. So, again, I think this is, that Fernando, or whoever's writing the lyrics, is, I'm trying to see here. Let's have a look at here. We say lyrics. It's all Brazilian. What do you expect? Okay. Whoever's writing them, and I get a feeling it's Fernanda and a mix of the other ladies. This album is a album of rebirth and renewal, and it's quite a political album. It's quite an interesting journey through someone's soul, really. Hence the Echoes of the Soul as the name of the album. It really truly is glorious, and I know that there's a portion of you out there who are my listeners that will listen to it and go, I don't hear that, or it's too aggressive, or it's too heavy, I don't understand it. But truly, please do it. Do it in a way where you can see the lyric. I've written, obviously, you can get the lyrics now on Spotify, so listen to it and read the lyric and understand, I think, where she's coming from. Ignore the medium, forget it. It's extreme black metal. Forget that it's aggressive. Forget that it's to some people impenetrable, because it's not. It's beautifully played. Every instrument is at an extremely high level. The bass is thunderous. Her vocals are just outstanding. The guitars are a next level, and the drums, honestly, watch a video of her drums and tell me you don't think that that's someone older possessing her to play those drums. And again, I go back to possession feel, right? But they are so gifted. It is a glorious album, and I have really enjoyed the retrospective thinking of each track. Musically, as I said, it is what it is. It's extreme metal, but it is a different sound. It's a different sounding extreme metal band. It's not like Behemoth or like that. It has a femininity to it, even though it's a masculine sound. It's got a femininity to its lilt. It's got a brutal "I'm not just a woman" feel, which is brilliant. I really cannot wait for them to come out to play Australia, and I think the new album, which is due out in 2023, will be outstanding. I hope you've enjoyed my chit chat. A bit my rambling at the beginning, so I couldn't quite get my focus. But when I got onto the actual album, I felt I got my strides there. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the most enjoyable recordings I've done in a long time. I'm going to now go and put the record on. I'm going to put it on 10. Fuck the neighbours, as I would like to say. They're all out at work anyway, who cares? I'll see you next week. Keep safe. Please do send me what you think of the album. I'd love to know what you think about it. I will put the link to the review I did for it for Metal Ruse when it came out. It was actually one of my favourite ever reviews I ever did. I got really good feedback on it. It does sort of, I think, in words, say what I said in the show. At the end of the day, you can intellectualize whatever you like. If you just want to put it on and thrash around, then do that. It has that ability for you. It will do that for you. But if you want to actually get a little bit more out of it, it'll also do that for you as well. Anyway, that's me for the week. Talk to you next week. Bye. Talk to you next week, guys. Bye now.